Test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test.
Jason, did you hear me?
No, what?
Our gate just
Test. Test, test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test, test. I got it set down to 25. Set to 25. Test. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I have it set to 20.
Test.
Test. This is me. Come on. Boop boop. Boop-a-doop. 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 Oof. Oof. What? Alright, this is much improved. Alright, this is much improved. This is me talking and saying things and whoa, whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 7 7 7 6 4 4 4 4 4 4 4. There we go. Are we live? All right, all right. Am I? Alright. Alright, let's get going. Boom, boom, boom. Alright. Oh, come on, guys. Right here, right here, right here. Oh, somebody already won. Alright, fourth. Oh. Oh. Alright, still trying to optimize this. What is going on? There we go. Come on. Alright, so this particular one, this one's not too bad. There's another Halloween one where it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I don't like it. Oof. Thanks. Thanks for the boost. There we go. Oh, come on. I'm pretty sure these jumps give you a speed boost. I'm not confident on that, but I'm pretty sure. I feel like it. Alright. Alright. Oh. I'll take it. I will take it. Here we go. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh. Searching for racers. I will say that this game has significant delay between matches because it always boots you back to the main screen, which is great if you want to make changes to what you're playing, but most of the time you just want to play the same match over and over and just have random matches pop up. So that's kind of like one of the things that I'd like to see them change. Oop. That was a terrible start. I wasn't really paying attention. I guess that means I have to really pick it up just to get back to where I should be. All right, let's see here. And drift. Ah. What is going on? Oh. There we go. All right. So there's a little stump in the middle of the road here, and everyone hits it. Right there. That one. I feel like a lot of people hit that one. I mean, it's a good spot for an obstacle. It does slow you down a lot. Oh, jerk. Did you do that on purpose? Oh. Alright, go, 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 go. Alright, I need a project. Oh, that'll work. Oh, see there? There I am. That'll work. Give me something good. There we go. Final lap. Boom. Okay, so it's good that I can see first place. It's not good that I keep bumping into people. Down. Alright. I'll take it. No! No, 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 no! Ah. Really? Really? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Ugh. Alright. Oh, look at that. I got a thing. I got a thing. Play it up. Play it up. Alright. So this is what I was talking about. This is that kind of, there's some lag between, it's not lag, it's just there's a delay between matches, and it's probably not that much worse than like Mario Kart and other games like this, but it's noticeable, and I'm kind of holding them to a higher standard because they're trying to usurp the champion, which is Mario Kart. I do like it. Alright, let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you guys. Don't be like that. I'll take this one. Oh, some nitro. I'll take it. Oh, right. Oh, no, no! So you can swap between your weapons, just like you could in Mario Kart Double Dash. Actually, I think most of the newer ones do it too. I don't know why I use Double Dash. Oof! Oof! Guys, oof! Oof! Alright, 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 alright. There we go. Okay. So, it's pretty tough to maintain a lead in this mode, in the items mode, because you're constantly going to get knocked back. Everyone's going to target the person that's in the lead. So it's challenging, but let's throw those up. I'll take that. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Right between, right between. So this guy right up ahead, he needs, someone's got to beat him. Oh, I thought that was a balloon. I saw it and I just went to use it. Alright, I'll take the shield. This can be helpful. Oh, I got 2 shields. Take that. Come on. I can't be running into things. Ooh. Someone's gonna lock on me. Oh my gosh, for crying out loud. Oof. So I missed that, so I have to take this longer route. Still came in second, but if I hadn't missed that jump, there's a possibility that I could have overtaken first place. I don't know. I don't know, man. It is what it is, I guess. Right? Alright. So there's two modes. There's random item mode and there's speed mode. And speed mode is the same exact thing, the same races. There's just the only item you can pick up is two different types of turbo. That's basically it. And I actually feel like there might be a longer delay in the speed mode because I'm not convinced that everybody that's using this knows that they can switch over to speed mode. So, it's what it is. It's what it is. It is fun, though. I will say that this is a fun game. I do like it a lot. I was half expecting some garbage when I first loaded it up, because almost every single kart racer on Steam is pretty terrible. I mean, Garfield Kart, and just, you know what I mean, like, and even the ones that are like kind of okay, like Arma, are just, they're still not Mario Kart. It's just, there's only one Mario Kart, and so there's definitely a lot that you have to live up to in order to make a game in this genre. There we go. It's gonna get nailed. Alright, so now I've got this shield. Not exactly what I was trying to do there. I panic a little sometimes when things are coming after me. I think we all do. I think we all panic a little. It would be nice to know how much further ahead than I am over everyone else. That would be nice. I'm not really sure if there's a way, like a good way to figure that out yet. I just drove through those two pyramids too. Can we all accept that? Alright, there we go. Man. So, I will also say that there's something else that I don't like in the team modes. Okay, before I complain about that, let me complain about something else. That lag right there. Okay, watch this. So this is team mode, right? So I came in first. And then Bert came in, who's on blue team, and then 5. Whoever comes in first place, whatever color they are, that's the team that wins. So if 2 and 3 are the same color, and then 1, and then the other person on teams 1 is at the last place, it doesn't matter. Whoever is first wins. And there's something about that irks me. Like, there's just something about the fact that you can have one team member play really, really well, and then you have another team with 2 people that both play good, but not so good that they win. And considering that there's a lot of luck in this game, because there's a lot of little things that could happen at any time, you could get hit with some sort of super power up that just knocks you back a little bit. And there's definitely been races where I'm about to win and I get knocked out at the last second, and it's just part of the game. But the thing that irks me about that is that if it's a team match, how your teammate does should have some sort of influence over what your ranking is. I mean, I get that there's other games where, like other racing sports, where the person who comes in first place is all that matters, and the other person's job is really just to be an inconvenience, to help with like fuel and things like that. But that's not, there's no fuel in this game, so that's not something that's really helpful, and I'm not sure I could do 500 laps in this game. But like I said, there's just something about that I don't like. I'm stuck. All right. Oh, that's another thing too. And I'm not sure how I feel about this, but the mechanic is, as soon as somebody passes, there's a timer that starts counting down. So you know when someone's won because the 10-second counter starts kicking down. But if you're playing against somebody who's really, really efficient at this game, that's really good, and they've just got a great match going on, they could be 5-8 seconds ahead of you. And 10 seconds does not leave a lot of room for you to get to the finish line. And if you don't get to the finish line, you don't place. So you don't even get a match. You could be second place. If as a person in second place, you don't make it to the finish line within that 10-second period, you don't place at all. They're just going to drop you somewhere on the retired list. And it's not going to represent actually how well you're doing. All right, so this particular map is, you see this little like clock tower that's on here? We're gonna eventually hit this, and there's two parts about this that I've found that's important. One, you can bounce off those water. So even if you don't have a turbo, if you hit it at full speed, you'll usually bounce off the water, run through the top one, which has a box in that top path. The other thing is there's a ramp just prior to it, and it's really, really important that you hit that ramp just right. Because if you don't hit that ramp just right, you're basically out of the match. And you have to do it 3 times, and it's just, you just gotta do it right. And I'll show you what I mean, right here. That, right there, this ramp right here, if you don't hit that ramp, you're gonna get stuck between the barn and the ramp, and you can't go up the ramp from the side. So you have to back all the way out. So watch this, boom, boom. And then there's a shortcut right here, but we're not gonna take it because I missed it. And I'm gonna switch over to my water because I'm no longer in first place, and that'll help a little bit. We need to keep that. Did you see it? That was that ramp. Oh, there's some lag right there. I don't know if that's my end or what's going on, but definitely getting hit with some lag. All right. And third. So I don't mind if I come in third. I don't want to come in fifth. I'll show you why in a second, why I don't mind coming in third. Damn it. Oh, I had it too. So I've got some significant lag going on right now. And I know that sounds like I'm blaming it. Ah, fourth. Okay, so I'll show you why. So there is an upgrade system to this, and you can get new carts, you can get new decorations, you can get new characters, that sort of thing. And we'll jump in just a second. And once we have an idea of kind of, all right. So, okay. So just kind of show you the menu system here real quick. There's this challenges thing, and you notice that there's this tier pass thing on the top here with our daily challenges. And so, you know, you've got these daily challenges that you do, but then there's also this challenges section. So these are the kind of daily challenges. I have an hour and a half left to complete them. I've already completed them. But if we go over here, we have these weekly ones. And if we go in, we can see these are all the challenges that I need to do. Oh, and this is what I was talking about, the very first top one here. Place third without in the practice cart 3 times. So the cart that I've been driving is the practice cart. I've been playing this out. So I've completed that. I got my 5 trophies for it. I now need to do these other things before the week is up. I need to obtain the cotton cart and finish the 30-kilometer village. I need to win 3 speed races with no more than 10 instant boosts. I've done 2 of those. So we'll switch over to the cotton cart in just a second. And then return to track 1 time and lose in 10 solo races. That's just going to be tedious. I think I can manage losing 10 times. The return to track thing, though, that's the part that's kind of tedious. But if you do it at just the right time, maybe it won't be too bad. This is the upgrade stuff. So you can see that, like, as you start playing through the game, you have these different things you can upload. You can win. These are emotes. You get XP. I have no idea what the XP does yet. I haven't quite done it. And there's other things here. So right now, this is where I am. I just got level 9, so I'm working towards my level tier, level 10, where I'll get this balloon that hangs off the back, and this emote for Brody being angry. And as of right now, there's 100 levels with stuff that you can get. So you can get, at level 99, you get epilepsy, apparently. Spike, the cart, and then we have our garage. So let's change this out. We need to change our cart. Where's the cotton? There's the cotton. And so that's the cotton cart. And let's change our character. Diz is adorable. I like yellow. So single player, racing school, time attack. Let's try Diz in the cotton. Let's try that out. So all right. You're going to end up playing a lot of the same exact maps over and over. That's kind of where I'm at. Now, to be fair, the game's in beta, so it's not totally unrealistic to think that you're going to have a limited number of maps, and they're probably not going to give all the maps. They're probably not going to give all the maps during a beta. Hopefully. I hope this doesn't launch with this being the total number of maps that we just keep playing over and over. And I do like the themed maps. I like the Halloween one, despite the fact that, it's summer. That wasn't very nice. I'm just gonna say it right now. That wasn't very nice. Okay, so we're gonna hit this here. Come on, guys, beat each other up. There's one. Ah, you dodged it. Alright. That doesn't help when you're in first. There we go. No! No! So I wasted my shields, and it bit me in the ass, is essentially what just happened there. That was awful. Okay. We can see some details. We can kind of get an idea of how we played too. I didn't play very well. So let's get up and running. All right. We're waiting for racers. waiting for those racers. Oh. Oh, the glacier ones. These snow ones are pretty good. The tracks, I don't know if the tracks are supposed to be slippery. They don't feel very slippy to me, so I'm not really convinced that the weather has any sort of impact other than just the general theme. But these are a welcome distraction from the other tracks that we get. And I don't feel like I get these particular tracks very often. I feel like they're a little bit more uncommon than the other two that we've been playing. So this is a team-based one, and we need red to lose. I'm blue. These... Stop it. And people haven't quite figured out. People haven't quite figured out that this is a team sport. They keep knocking their teammates down. So it's a little less obvious than like a game like Overwatch, where it's pretty obvious that certain people on your team, and they do their best to try and like discourage you from being able to do stupid things to your teammates. But so I'm gonna save this one because I'm gonna jump above the track. So this right down here, if I hit it straight on, oh, or you know, if I'd hit it straight on, there's an extra bonus above there. Wow. Guys, we are just getting our asses handed to us. That was embarrassing. That was so embarrassing because like I didn't hit the jump. I didn't get a good start. Like they just one after another made mistakes. My team, I don't care about them because some of them were shooting at me. But I don't blame them. Like you play each match and you're just randomly thrown into a type. And you can say, I want this particular type. So see, I can choose. I can say I only want to play solo, duo, or squad-based games. But by default, these are all turned on. And you're just randomly going to get thrown in one. And if you're not paying attention when the match starts, you're not going to realize that you're in a team match. But then again, it doesn't really matter if you're in a team match because all that matters is who comes in first place. Yeah. If it is a team match and I play terribly and my teammate wins first match, I get more XP for no justifiable reason just because my teammate won. And maybe the things that I did influenced the other racers in a way that allowed them to win, but probably not. Chances are that if you come in like in the bottom, you just didn't have a very good race. And right now, people aren't really like, they're not, I don't feel like people on here are that aware. And it just occurred to me that I'm probably broadcasting. All right. So the thought that I just had just prior to this was that, so if we go into, come on, settings, and keep it on English, settings, and we go to audio, I suspect that I was broadcasting everything I was saying to my teammates, and really to everyone, and they probably thought I was such a fool. So let's just go back in there because I don't trust it. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. La-di-da. Alrighty then. So I'm actually playing this with an 8-bit SN30 controller. I really like it, except for the fact that I've yet to figure out how to match the controls in the game with the actual button locations. So on my controller, the A and B and the X and Y are reversed from what is actually in the game, and it causes some confusion. So if you see me stumbling through menus, it's because I have no idea what I'm actually hitting. And I have to like tell myself to hit the wrong button on purpose, and it irks me because it makes me mess up, and then I feel stupid, and I'm like, I shouldn't feel stupid because I'm sitting here alone in a room, and nobody has any clue that you just made a mistake. But you know how you feel. So I appreciate him taking that wall out for me. That was convenient. That was great. That was like perfectly timed. Oh, I did that to myself. Well, we won, and not terrible, but not the best. I was mentioning before that you can change the carts, and one of the things that I noticed was that the carts have different stats, and I'll go show you in just a second. Here, we'll go into the garage. So like here I'm driving the Cotton, right? It's a rare cart. It has everything set at 100. And you're probably thinking to yourself, is that good? Like, what does that mean? Well, the Proto is also all 100. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just a slightly different cosmetic of the exact same car. But then if we get into the practice cart, we notice that the practice cart has the exact same stats. So it's just essentially another version of the stock car, which is fine. You see they all have the S in the upper corner and all that stuff. And then we have this item mode cart. But you notice that acceleration jumped to 102, max speed 99, booster 99. So it dropped a little bit in exchange for that acceleration. It's not a huge difference, but there is a difference in terms of performance on straightaways. So like max speed, I can attest to the fact that if you are in this car, the Solid, and you are on a straightaway next to somebody in one of those standard stock cars, you will pull out ahead of them. But if you get hit, if there's a curve, you're going to slow down. And I can't speak to that one. This Bunny Rabbit here with the acceleration of 103 but the max speed of 98. To me, this is... they're balanced. These different carts are balanced, and there's definitely a little bit of an advantage of one over the other. The Tortoise, for example, has a max speed of 101 and acceleration of 1. This is my favorite cart so far. The only reason I'm using the Cotton is because I have that award that I can do. And yeah, you could do the marathon and when you're using the booster, I guess if you're on the speed run or something. But the problem is that it's a small advantage. And if you are not, I guess this isn't really a problem. That was a bad way to say that. If you are just as good as somebody else and you have a cart that's a little bit more optimized for the track that you're on, you're going to have an edge. And I bring this all up because I think one of the best things about this game in terms of the gameplay and kind of how it differentiates itself from Mario Kart, because again, that is the standard that we're going to judge this based on. Anybody that wants to make a kart racing game, they're going to get judged against Mario Kart. And it doesn't matter because they are the leader. And so one of the things that I really, really like about this particular game is the fact that you don't get to pick which track you're going to play on. And that's a huge deal because if you pick a kart that's good and you like customize and you get really accustomed to using it, you don't get a strategic advantage immediately because that kart that you're good with and that kart that you have could be totally inappropriate for the track you're about to be on. But you had no idea what the track was going to be when you picked it. So you're playing the odds and you're hoping that even though it is a little bit more inefficient, your ability to manage how it handles and your ability to know the tracks is going to outdo the people you're up against. And I think that's fine. I think that's a great way to kind of approach it. It's definitely different than the way Mario Kart does it. So I give him that. I definitely give him that. Oh, that just stunk monkey poop. I'm gonna tell you right now that was not intentional, but I'm mad impressed. How did they catch up? That's crazy. Oh, oh, oh! Yes! Yes! That was a combination of pure luck and I don't know. That wasn't skill. All right, but I'll take it. Oh, look at me. I'm so cute. So cute. So cute, cute, cute. Da-di-da. All right. So, what else to say? What else to say about this game? I mean, it's a cute kart racer. It's the type of game that you're gonna want to play with friends, and I think if they flush it out. Oh, you know what we can talk about? Let's talk about some of the things that they could do to this game to really help differentiate it between Mario Kart, because you can't just make Mario Kart for the PC. Nobody's gonna buy it. One, because you're not going to make Mario Kart for the PC, so you've got to come up with ways to make it a little bit better. I think coming out with lots of tracks is a huge thing. You got to have a lot of diversity, but I would like to see a certain degree of like these themed courses being exclusive to certain times of the year, right? Like these Halloween courses would be great if they only came out during Halloween. Like the winter ones would be great if they were only out during the winter, and they made it feel like it was something that was really important that you played it now, especially because these types of games come down to memorization like that, right? Like I memorized how to fall off that cliff right there. So I'm just not doing so hot right now. Let's do it. Okay. So it would also be nice to have some thematic power-ups that are like exclusive to certain types of tracks. I don't really know what that would look like, so I'm not making any sort of claims or anything. But like, I feel like having some sort of exclusive some exclusive stuff would be really cool. So like, take for example, okay, so it's Halloween, right? And maybe they could have like costumes or something that causes them to have superpowers, as opposed to just like water balloons and stuff. Maybe you can pick up different candies that do stuff, and you can have the power-ups doing essentially the same things, but I don't know, just a little bit different to match the tone of the level. I think that would be reasonable. Seriously? That was great. Appreciate that. Oh, double decked. Okay. All right. So the tones of the game, getting the themes correct would be great. More characters, great. Especially because there's only 4 people in this game so far, and they need more. They need at least 16. It would be cool to have a mode where there's certain abilities that only certain people can do, like having a DPS, having a tank, having those characters with power-ups that only they can utilize. And I don't know if that means that you have to pick them up or if they charge. I don't know. But I do think that those sorts of things would differentiate it. But really, the thing that makes these games stay fresh is the tracks. They got to be updated on a regular basis. My favorite thing about Overwatch is the arcade mode, where you have these like random events that go on once a day, and when you log in, you're looking for the events that you like, but because they're constantly changing up, and there's like a dozen or so different kind of things that you could do, whether it's like 4v4, 3v3, elimination, 1v1, like all these different types of modes. I think that there could be a lot that you could do with the kart style game like this, and especially since the whole thing is so fresh, it's definitely got the opportunity to really go anywhere they want to take it. They can take it really any different direction they want to go, and I'm excited to see how they do it. The second thing is that when you're doing a game like this and you're taking the power-ups kind of mechanic that Mario Kart introduced, that you have a lot of variability and a lot of differences, but everything has to be balanced. If you have a map that isn't balanced, then, or like if you have weapons that aren't balanced and you just win, like the blue shell, everyone hates the blue shell because it just completely disrupts the game, and it makes it feel like no matter how well you do, you could always just have somebody kind of steal it from you. And the blue shell really does feel like somebody stole from you, right? Like, it doesn't feel like some major victory. It doesn't feel like you're giving these other people a chance. It feels like somebody stole first place from you. At least to me, right? Like, that's my impression of it, and I really hate it. But that being said, you do have to keep the match close, and so far I think that the game does do a good job of keeping it close. But it's also new. Everyone's still kind of getting used to the mechanics. But I don't know. Like, I feel like I think there's more that they could do with the drifting too. That's the other thing is, this drifting when I first started playing was awful. I gotta tell you, I could not get the drift down at all. And part of that was, I really was just, oh my god. Well, I came in last, but at least I finished. when I first started playing it, I couldn't get the drifting down at all, and it was an all or nothing experience. And whenever you quit the beta, it asks you, do you want to fill out a survey about the game? And so I played the game for like 2 hours, and I had all of these thoughts about it. So I filled out the survey, which it was long, and I shared with them. And one of my complaints was the drifting feels all or none. Like I either am drifting or I'm not, and you should implement some sort of way of controlling it. And that was bad on me because 2 hours wasn't enough time for me to get used to the controls, and I thought the drifting was terrible, but I'm getting a little bit more appreciative of it. You definitely have to think about drifting before you do it. I do still think that there's a certain degree of just you start drifting one way or the other, and you go sometimes a little bit more than you expected or a little bit less. But it's more manageable, and I've gotten used to knowing that like I'm going to drift a certain distance when I hit the button, so I need to make sure that I hit it before a certain point, because if I wait too long, it's going to do more damage than just slowing down. And that's the thing, is every time you hit a turn, you have 3 decisions to make. Do I just lean into the turn? Do I slow down and then hit the turn? Or do I try and drift into the turn? And if you drift into the turn, you're going to maintain more of your speed as you go through it, but you're more likely to spin out, you're more likely to hit something, a wall, and so it's a decision you're going to have to make. The problem is that eventually people are going to have the drifting so well refined that it's not going to be like a question anymore. Everyone is going to know exactly when you hit it and for how long, and the only difference is going to be, do you hit it like do you personally hit it? And if somebody bumps into you, they might screw up your ability to drift at the right time, but they're not going to actually improve like the gameplay. And if there's nobody around you and you don't drift the corner at the right spot at the right time, you're not going to be able to win. And I know that this complaint is kind of weak because Mario Kart has drifting, and it's the same problem. It's the same issue that once you know how to play Mario Kart, you're gonna win if you're playing against someone who doesn't. So then you become more reliant on rubber banding, right? Like getting faster when you're behind, and getting better power-ups when you're behind. And that's such a difficult thing to do well, because every single time you give somebody who's behind you a better power-up, it kind of feels like they're getting special treatment. All the work you did to become number one is thrown out. And it's just luck of the draw, right? Like, here you are, you're racing, you're absolutely racing through, you're having like this best game you've ever had, you hit every single corner perfectly, you hit the jumps when you needed to hit the jumps, you got the right power-ups to turbo boost when you needed to do that, and then there you are, you're just about on the home stretch, you are like 2 seconds ahead of everyone else, you get hit with a blue shell, you're in last place, the match is over, all your work is done, you get no benefit from it. And I get it, that's part of Mario Kart, it's part of the game, it's part of just the way that everything in this genre works. And I'm not complaining about that particular facet. I'm just saying that implementing something like the blue shell has to be done really, really carefully, because you have to always assume 2 conflicting thoughts. You have to assume that everyone playing is exactly the same level, and they're going to be around the same place at the map at any one time. But you also have to assume that there's one person who's really, really good and another person who's really, really bad. And if the person who isn't very good at your race kart game keeps losing, they're going to stop playing. And if that person stops playing, and it's a group of friends, everyone's going to stop playing, right? Because that's the nature of social party games. If everyone isn't having a good time, you move on to something else. And this sort of game is just like Overwatch. It's just like League of Legends. I can't say it. It's just like all of those games. If people start to drop out and become uninterested, then the game is going to struggle. And people log in, they want to play your kart game, they get loaded in to a game, and you're like, oh, look at all these people that are currently playing. I'm playing against real people. And you're not. You're playing against bots. It's like those mobile games where you download this mobile game you've never heard of because you saw an ad on Facebook and you're like, that kind of looks interesting. I like miniature golf. What would it be like if it was really windy? Something silly like that. And so you download the game, you log in, and you suddenly realize no one else in this game is real. You could turn off your internet connection and have the exact same experience. And you want to avoid that. Because as good as the developers are, as good as AI is, as good as all these different things are, you have a feeling when you're playing against real people. And the game isn't as fun. And I feel like I'm just going off on a tangent here and just kind of yapping away about the fact that, like, these types of games are hard to develop. But the truth is, they are hard to develop, and they are difficult to get right. And that's why I'm really curious about this game, because they've got the fundamentals down. It feels fast. The power-ups are good, right? Like you've got the kind of a good combination of it. The drifting mechanic is, even despite that really crappy turn I just took, the drifting mechanic feels good once you get used to it. But if people stop playing this game, man, it's just not going to be the same. And maybe I am playing against bots. Maybe that's why the game feels so much fun right now, and every time I get better, I feel like so does everyone else. Maybe I'm not playing against real people. Maybe I'm playing against bots that are just adjusting to how well I play. And so when I, get a couple matches in a row that I'm really good, they decide to mix me with a bunch of people that are better. I don't know. Wow. I actually think that we won. Was that a team one? It was a team one. Yeah, we won. See, like, that's not right? Like, I sucked on that round. And I won. Because the person who beat Helix Kirby won. And they were on my team. All right. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about this for a second. So, hit Y to cancel. You can't actually cancel. That's not a thing. That's not a thing in this game. Once you decide you're going to start playing, the game makes you keep playing. Like, isn't there something strange about this match? Doesn't it feel weird that I'm not really playing the best match that I've ever played, and yet we're all kind of like, there's first place. We are all on the map together. Like, and isn't that just the strangest? Like, it just feels weird. It just feels weird that that entire match we were all so close together. And I can't quite put my finger on why we would all be like, there's no way that the computer, their server was able to say, these people are going to make for a good match, so let's put them all together. Like, I just don't buy it. Something about it just feels weird. Alright, so I'm gonna do a speed map because I've been playing these for a while. So let's do a speed one. You're gonna see this is exactly the same, and chances are, because I just said that, I'm gonna get a new map that I've never even seen before. But every time I've done speed mode, I've gotten the same maps, and it's the exact same thing. The only difference is you don't get items, but you do get turbos. And there's two different types of turbos that you can earn. There's a red one and a blue one. I don't know what the difference is. They're used exactly the same. So here's Pharaoh's Pass. We've done this one a few times. This is the one that earlier I completely flustered and went underneath something and had to do the long path. You see that little track right in the center? That's the shortcut that everyone hits. So it's not really a shortcut. It's more of like, if you really mess it up, then you're gonna have to take a slightly longer route. Or if you're somehow able to time a power up to knock somebody in the middle of their jump. Wow, I just got spanked right there. Oh, that's right. There's no power-ups. I'm so stupid. Like, here I was, like, looking for the power-ups to get ahead, and I just remembered, oh, I'm not on it. There is no power-ups. So you see that? The red one just turned blue. So obviously the blue one's better. And I'm in 7th place, which happens to be last, which is great. That feels exactly like where I should be right now, because I don't feel like I've earned anything more than that. And this person is really just being it. But here we go. So, oh, come on. Actually, I'm actually really proud of that. I just tried that jump for the first time, and all right. I'm gonna get hosed. I'm getting hosed. Did it. Look at that. 9 seconds behind first place. I don't know what to make of it. Was I playing bots? Am I playing real people? I don't know. I mean, I'm not discounting the idea that there are people out there who can pick up at this game and absolutely wreck me. Of course there are. Of course there's people that can do that. Of course they can. And the chances of them randomly being assigned to a game that I'm in is probably pretty high. Because the type of person that would be willing to play a beta of a game like this is probably the type of person that's good at this. You know, plus me. So that is to say that I'm not very good at these. I am not winning. I'm not paying for anyone's tuition with Mario Kart money, is what I'm saying. But overall, I like this game. I think it's good. I think that it's fun. I think that with a little bit of refinement, with a little bit of change, some extra characters, some extra maps, some customization, some really hitting the holidays and the themes like the way Overwatch does and some of those games do. They can go really far. And then pricing this competitively. The downside is that games like Rocket League and Overwatch lend themselves to being esports. I just don't see a game like this being an esport title because it just eventually people are going to be so good at these maps that there's going to be a perfect way to run them and everyone's going to be shooting for that perfect route. And there needs to be some sort of influence, something that you could do. Maybe switches where the tracks can get changed up, and so you have to become efficient at doing all sorts of different tracks. But the problem with that is that even when you do that, you think of a game like Speedrunners where whoever's in first, like whoever's ahead, can influence what the people behind them have to do. You still kind of get used to the maps and you know exactly what you're supposed to do. And the only thing you're doing is you're saying, if X happens, do this, but if the scenario becomes Y, change your strategy up like this. And at that point, you might as well be a bot because you're going to do the exact same thing every single time. And really all you're trying to do is, you know, it's like amateur speed running. You're just trying to get really, really good at something that you know is going to be exactly the same. And I don't have a problem with that. Mario Kart's a classic game. It's one of the best games that I think has ever been made. It really hits all the different components of what makes video games wonderful, especially when you're talking about families, friends, just online kind of strangers. Everything about it's great. I think this game has the possibility of doing it. They just really have to be persistent about updating it. And I would really like to see them do that in a non-DLC way. You throw DLC into this game, forget it. It's dead. Dead to the water. Because this sort of game lends itself towards earning upgrades, but you gotta balance that with the competitive edge that upgrades come with, right? Because it's no fun to play against somebody that has the best, absolute best stuff. Right here, I'm just kind of scrolling through some of this stuff, and I'm like, here are all these different things that people could get and potentially make themselves better. Now, yeah, the appearance and dance moves and stuff like that isn't a big deal, but look at this. This is the icebreaker. It changes water bombs into ice and water bombs. I just noticed this, and that's kind of cool. But what does that mean in terms of the gameplay? What does that mean in terms of giving you a competitive edge? Because all sorts of vehicles, all sorts of things should be worth pursuing. But if it makes you better than someone who is the same level as you in terms of skill level, then it's not really fun for the other person, right? They're not going to want to play with you because, well, you have better stuff than them. And I think that's where games like Overwatch really, really shine, is it doesn't matter who you play with. You could be platinum, diamond, gold, you could be any level, and you've got the same characters with the same abilities as everyone else. And your skill's different, and your ability to play is different. But then again, games like Overwatch have so many concurrent players that it's really easy for them to say, you should be with this person. You should be playing with this group over here. You're going to make this balance out. And my evidence for that is the fact that Overwatch spends a lot of time focusing on balancing. And when their fans, when their players figure out that there is something that you can do to get a competitive edge, Overwatch fixes it. They change it, right? Like, do you remember like a couple years ago, if you're an Overwatch player, you're going to remember this. If you're not an Overwatch player, this is going to go over, just listen to my point. But there was a time a few years ago when Junkrat, who throws a lot of bombs and can be moved by his own bombs through the air, was so overpowered that he could just run into battle, throw down a bunch of bombs, and then allow the explosions to send him out of harm's way. And that's a problem because there's not skill in that. There's no strategy to using that character. And suddenly you were going into matches and there was always a Junkrat. When you were playing the ability to play multiple heroes at the same time, everyone was playing as Junkrat. That's not fun. They gotta be balanced. So I think the idea that they've got going on right now where the levels are random is really, really good. That is freaking cute. The Home Run King. Like, that right there is like, I gotta get to level 70. I want that. That's adorable. So I think that really hitting the randomization of the levels and not being able to control what level you play is going to be a huge deal, especially if they make the levels more if they make it a little bit more so that customizing your vehicle can have an impact. where it really encourages you to not pick a vehicle that's too extreme for one particular map, because you might terribly suck, right? Like, imagine if you could have really, really fast car and you could customize your car to be really, really fast. But if you get put on one of the ice stages, you're terrible. You slip and slide everywhere. You can barely do anything, and it makes it really, really hard to win. Well, then suddenly, when you're playing as a solo match, you really want to customize your vehicle to your strengths, making it kind of neutral, but leaning towards the things that you're better at. Whereas if you're playing a team sport, where you're playing multiple ones, that's cute too. When you're playing multiple matches, where you're playing as 4v4, maybe it suddenly makes sense where I want to be really, really good on dry, twisty, turny maps. You want to be really good on dry straightaways. Someone else wants to be really good on icy, rainy maps. Somebody else wants to be really good on maps that have a lot of crisscrossing, right? Where you're constantly bumping. Maybe you want to customize it for being, like, if you're in a map that has a lot of cliffs. You know what I mean? Like, all these different things where suddenly the team aspect of it becomes so much more important. You're never going to win if everyone picks a neutral car. You got to pick these variations, and you got to have suddenly roles. There's just so much that you can do with this game, and I'm really excited to see what they do with it. And I really hope that they take the time and they really refine this before they release it. I think it's a great game as it is. And they've got work to do, and I'm really, really looking forward to what they do with it. I don't know. This is a long rant. This was me playing the game for a while. I got a couple hours in. I'm level 17, which is probably nothing compared to what other people are at. But yeah, too long. Didn't listen. It's a good game. Developers got work to do.